Hey everybody, welcome on back to the Nerdcastle. My name is Splattercat, and this is Niffelheim. It's gonna be kind of a laid-back, quiet day today. I spent a bit of time down in the dungeon in between episodes just farming and mining a little bit because I wasn't totally positive that it was something somebody wanted to see down in here. We had run into a cave troll previously. I hadn't been expecting to do battle with any 8-foot creatures with large tree-like clubs. His club definitely was larger than our club. We did a little bit of a comparison, and it turns out his friend network was larger than mine. No, it didn't actually play out like that. I think we could take him if we just wanted to be scummy and just like keep going at him over and over and over again, because his health never comes back, whereas our health regenerates every time we die. And so if we really wanted to bang our head against him and just be cheese mode, we could, but that doesn't seem like the Viking way to do things. And so I don't think I'm going to continue in that Oh, there's rats. They're eating me. The rats are eating my toesies, my favorite toesie. I've only got like 4 left after all this rat battles. It's vicious. We got these flows out here with these rat battles. Wow, there are a lot of acorns down here. 14 to be exact. I've picked up 16 iron ore. I've picked up a bunch of copper ore. I've picked up a bunch of coal. I think the remainder of the things we're going to need... Oh yeah, I found a hair charm. For whatever reason, I can only assume that that helps you if you've got long hair. It keeps those strands of hairs from getting caught in your butt cheeks. Nobody knows the struggle like people with long hair. Where are my long hair people at? Yep. You know how it is when you're just sitting there and all of a sudden you feel that thing in your butt crack and you're like, what the hell? Like when you get in the shower and you like grab it and it's like a long ass like 3-foot hair. And you're just like, ah! I assume that the hair charm helps out with that. We're going to mine another layer, I think, and then we'll head back up to the surface. I want to make sure that our metal needs are appropriately taken care of permanently. I don't want to... Oh, we got a owl charm right there, too. If we end up going back to... God, I really wish that bear had not respawned. I want to be able to go back to Temple City whenever I want to go back to Temple City, and unfortunately, that has been denied to me. They said, "Depart, Splattercat, for we know ye not." And I was like, well, yeah, I do have my own kind of knot. That is true. I did spend a lot of time in the Boy Scouts. But just because you know my knot doesn't mean that you know how to boss me around. That doesn't mean that it gives you command over my present situation. And so anyways, I'm not sure what's on the docket for this. I do see this game kind of dwindling a little bit. And so what is this over here? Can I loot this? No, I cannot loot this. I kind of wish with the background stuff you could loot it a little bit more efficiency. Or with a little bit more efficiency. Like some of the stuff you get like building stone from it or something like that. There's some more rock salt though. I like rock salt, the most metal of all the salts. If you're like, yee. Sorry, I just woke up. My voice is... You might be able to tell. My voice might sound a little ragged today. This week, I did like 15 hours of streaming. By comparison to my normal, I do like 6. And so anyways, between that and like the 8 hours of recording a day, I've been struggling with it. My voice has been having a rough time. And I know honey and tea and all that kind of stuff. I'm bad, though. I am not... I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm really, really bad. Who's bad? Splattercat. That is the answer to the question MJ was positing right there. And so anyways, because I'm bad, I don't take good care of myself. My body is like a train wreck of chemicals and addictions. And so unfortunately, you get out what you put in, kids. You get out what you put in, and if all you've put in is shit for a very, very long time, don't be sad, and don't be kind of surprised when what you get out is just kind of like and awful. In today's episode, we've got a little bit of iron right there. I think we can mine this out. I mined out like an entire layer without you guys, and then I thought to myself, maybe they want to see me mine out a layer. I wasn't sure about it, though. Our little mine hierarchy here from top to bottom is not so clean. What's back there, and what are you looting right now? Is it more mushrooms? It's more mushrooms, isn't it? This guy is always a lava mushroom. I don't think mushrooms will grow in lava. Oh, I forgot to put my shoulder pads back on. My shoulders are unprotected. I want to know what's inside that chest right there so badly. Like, for real, I really, really, really want to know what's inside of there. I bet it's not even that awesome, but he's giant and he's got a big nut protector on his belt. And so I assume that means he's only got 2 toes. How much battle do you have to fight in to end up with 2 toes? He's got like little clip-clops. He's got clip-cloppy hooflings. Looks like there's something right there too, but we might get a free shaft right here. I can't tell. We'll have to dig a little bit further. And then obviously he's got a left-hand side to his mine as well. Let me close down my inventory just in case something decides it wants to come from the right and take me out. I can't deal with that right now. I cannot deal with that right now. Sorry about that. My voice It's not even my voice. I've got like a thing build up today. It's my allergies. Yesterday we had a thunderstorm though, which was kind of crazy. I wasn't able to record yesterday because of a thunderstorm. That's never happened to me before. No, I don't want that. Stop picking those things up. I hate you. I hate you so much when you pick up. You always come back to base with like this big kit just full of shit that we don't need. Like we can't even process this right now. It is physically impossible for us to make this into anything at the moment. You still bring it home. I'm backstocking, man. I'm trying to make, you know, the story about the grasshopper and that other critter that both were like, hey, I'm gonna be productive throughout the rainy season, and then the other one's like, nah, and then he dies at the end. I'm trying not to be that guy. Oh, we've got spiders. This is probably gonna hurt a lot more than I want it to, but I can whittle my way through them pretty easily, and that's gonna give us a nice little roundup of spider silk, which to this day I'm still not sure if spider silk is useful at all. It may be the most useless item ever invented. I haven't seen anything for it. What I want to do in today's episode is basically I want to focus on upgrading crafting stations. If I can make our crafting stations a little bit higher tier, I think we might be able to leapfrog and jump into better stuff in the future. I'm just going to teleport back into the surface because it's only 5 gold and I am lazy as a maw. So, being lazy as a maw, let's start out with our stations here. So we need 5 boards in order to bring a stone build house upwards, or a stone greenhouse upwards. Oh. We've got K-Rots. That's pretty cool. I like K-Rots. I'm going to eat all of them right now because I've got nothing that I can put those inside of. And that is going to give us 60 HP. Kind of a roundabout way to get our HP back. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about it. Not going to complain about it. We also need to, like, fix some of this shit. Let's fix our block house because it's not looking so great so far. Our house is so baller that it takes up the whole block. Not part of the block, the whole block. Now then. Let's start to deposit some of these things in here. Got the iron ore. This is going to be for blacksmithing related objects. So we've got, there it is. We'll put that inside of there. We'll put that inside of there. We need some more boards. I've got the stone right there. I'd love to bring this greenhouse up to spec and just make this thing badass. I'll probably do a lot of the inventory management in between. Possibly, I don't know. We're going to eyeball things as we go along and figure out what we do and don't need while we're doing our blacksmithing tasks. So let's saw out a couple more boards. That'll at least get our greenhouse going. Then we'll go back up to the surface, and I think we're going to end up farming out at least a... Oh, we can actually upgrade that to rank 3 pretty soon, too. All right. Well, we're going to need a lot more wood. If there's one thing I know here, it's that we're going to need a ton of wood-related sundries. So let's see if we can get that locked down before anything else. We got our boards right there. That's going to be our 5 boards. What else did it need? I think it needed clay, possibly. I might just keep some of this stuff in my inventory. Organizing seems like a bad plan right now. Alright, so stone greenhouse. What can I do with you? Oh, I need ingots. Needed copper ingots. And I think those are all the way the hell off to the east, and so unfortunately we're gonna have to walk through. This is pretty good real estate right here, though. I think you get a decent amount of money for an underground house like this. My dad got an offer to roof a house like this back in the day. Probably about 6 months ago. There's a guy on the edge of town where I live, where he lives in a hobbit house. Like, his house is built into the side of a hill, and it's got kind of like an astroturf thing going on over the top. And he called my dad out, because my dad's a roofer. And he goes, what would it cost me in order to get this, like, set up and turned into, like, a real... I need to get this fixed. And my old man, he's kind of on the back end of his career right now. Like, he's, like, at the point where he's thinking about retirement. And so when you start to think about retirement, you definitely get, like, a serious case of the I don't cares. And kind of, so he was just looking at the place. He's like, man, this is going to take so much work. He was like, this thing is going to be gnarly. And so that's what he told the guy. He was like, you know... This is going to cost you a fortune if you hire me to do it because this is so inconvenient and it's such a pain that I'm just going to tack on all kinds. I'm being honest with you right now because it's such a load and a pain and it's such a weird roof and it's going to be so difficult to get done and it's kind of outside my comfort zone. I'm just going to charge you way too much to get it done. And so you may want to find somebody that specializes in this kind of roof because, frankly, because I don't want to do it, I'm just going to make it really, really, really expensive to make it worth my while. And the guy was like, okay, I can respect that. At least you're just, like, taking the job and just, like, moving forward with it. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to be honest with you right now. That happened to me. I was trying to get my, actually, it was really, really cool. I went the other day because I was thinking about getting a touch-up paint done on my car. I just bought a new car, And so I've never bought a car before. This is like my first vehicle that's like mine. My last one, I got a vehicle last time, but it was a vehicle of desperation. It was a vehicle that I never wanted, and I was kind of pinched for time, and I ended up with a car that I never really enjoyed, you know what I mean? Like, I had to be at work on Monday, and so by the end of the weekend, I had to be like sitting in a car, and so I kind of just settled with it. I don't know if I want to take these charms to town. I also don't know what they're going to require for me to activate these. That's the other half of it. An old potion of defense. Yeah, put other weird supplementary stuff in here. So everything for, like, alchemy and cooking and other stuff can go in here. I don't know when we're going to use demon horns or spider fangs. I think we had spider fangs as a listed item that we needed for something, but I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm going to equip that right there. Let's go back up to the surface. Essentially, our function for right now, we out here trying to function. Basically, we're just going to be hunting, and then we're going to be chopping down trees today. We've got a couple more carrots already ready to go. Greenhausen. Let's see how this thing looks. Looks a little bit cooler. How many tiers can it go up to? I think they got it locked now. I think that's probably going to be later on in the early access. It just lets me put one more seed in, and it lets me hold a little bit more. I was hoping it would give me another slot so I could grow multiple crop types. That's what I was hoping for. But sometimes when you hope in this life, you don't actually, a lot of the time, that's like adulting 101 is like sometimes you don't get what you want. And then you're like, oh, really? And they're like, actually, most of the time you don't get what you want. I'm like, oh. So, like, how do you deal with that? And you're like, mostly pain, misery, and being upset a lot of the time. I mean, it's pretty much, as you get older, you learn to deal with the trauma better and better. It never quite goes away. It just sort of evens out a bit. I would love to do this dungeon over here, but we've got to figure out a way to kill all the stuff that's dogpiled by the door. I do think that's a design oversight where they can stack up by the door like that, and I'm not sure how we fix that. We got some persimmons right there. If I can pick up supplementary stuff along the way, I definitely wouldn't be adverse to it either. Was there a tree back here? There was a tree back here. Let's chop this little bastard down. It's looking at me wrong. This tree gotta go. No, don't go in the dungeon. I'm pressing space because I want you to... There we go. Sometimes the game gets confused about what you want it to do when you have two interactable objects right next to each other. There's a little bit of something. I'm going to shoot this cockerel over here because why not? There we go. We need a bunch more chickens anyways. Gonna try and fight a few wolves, but our food supply is not such that I feel like this is really kind of a good engagement for us long term. This is the burrow right here that unfortunately has loads and loads and loads of mobs right inside the door. And as much as I would like to get in here and handle that, they're definitely making it difficult for me. They're not making it easy. I'm going to get that right there. Heal up a tad. Close that on down. I do wish there was some kind of cookable resource we could get from fighting wolves too. Like some kind of wolf meat or predator meat or something like that. It seems a shame to let it go to waste. I mean, it's probably not going to taste amazing. Predators and all that. As a general rule of nature, predators don't taste very good. Meat that's been grown via predation tends to be kind of iffy when it comes to flavor. Also, raccoons don't taste good. I just figured I'd throw that extra one in there as a freebie for you. Raccoon meat does not taste good, so don't eat raccoons. It seems obvious. That's going to be dry seeds. I don't think we can use those for anything, so I'm just going to eat them. The great red pumpkin, I don't think that's going to be that helpful either, so I'm just going to eat that. I don't have a lot of living trees right now. Is that a honey pumpkin right there? Please tell me that's a honey pumpkin. Got some beans over here, some dope roots and things. We might be able to get ourselves restocked too. I do think they need to add some level of passive regeneration to the game. Not a lot, but something. And my reason for that is not to make the game easier. It's actually to reduce the grind a little bit that the player has to go through. And so as the game stands right now, you spend a lot of time just farming out materials. A golden pumpkin. I don't think that's the one that I needed, but I'll still eat it anyways. If you're hungry enough, there's a piggy right there. Yeah, I'm not really down with this whole pig hunting thing. Fine, we'll kill the pig right now. Pig's probably going to do considerable damage to us, but what are you going to do? Hope for crits, kids. Hope for crits. I don't really want to fight this animal, but they respawn and you don't really have a choice. There's a big boar meat right there. That'll kind of take the edge off. And then we'll eat the rest of this chicken to make sure the health stays down. I need to harvest this side of the map. That's pretty much what I'm leaning towards right now. And then we will chop down this tree right here. Yeah, do the Viking shuffle. Do the Viking shuffle. When you're trying to chop a tree and you got to get your hustle, do the Viking shuffle. Do the Viking shuffle. A little bit more wood right there. Not doing a great job with our wood supply, though. We got a little bit more dope root on this side. I think that was dandelions. I'll probably just eat those. Oh, really? We got... Oh, it was a turnip. So we got red turnip seeds from a white turnip plant. I'm not going to judge. I assume there's some kind of like crossbreeding botany thing going on there. I'm going to murder this baby piggy because it deserves it. And there's that stupid bear back again to bother me. Apparently that's his baby pig. He claims it. He has laid claim to that baby pig, and so unfortunately I just can't have it. It sucks that these only give you sticks, although I think I do need sticks, so I might as well. Let's get in here and see if maybe we can get ourselves some freebie sticks out of this thing. Yeah, 6 or 7. I think if I can get 20, 25 sticks, that'll probably stock us up for quite some time. That little tree right there is not quite ready for harvest. This one, however, can go. Gives us 13. Let's stay on it. Really, really hoping I can get into there. And I don't have a strategy yet for how I want to do this. But I wonder if you can put pine cones inside the greenhouse and it'll just like grow wood for you. I like it when my greenhouse is affectionate towards me like that. Why do you raise an eyebrow, sir? Why do you raise an eyebrow? Wait, I'm out of arrows already? How am I out of arrows? Alright, well, it looks like I gotta make more arrows. Let's head back down into the dungeon and see what we can throw together there. I would also like to check my hutch over here, because I bet we probably have a bunch of eggs. Yeah, because I've been largely ignoring this. I would like to get some eggies. Oh, they stack. Good. Give me all your eggies, please. There they are. And so now we go back down below, and it's going to be a day full of cooking for us. It's going to be a day full of cooking. Let's head on over here, and we'll get a lot of this mashed out. That'll save some inventory space, too, because we're stacked up on salt or whatever. I would have liked to have spent my money on something a little bit cooler, something with a little bit more wow factor. Unfortunately, 200 salt is what I absolutely needed at the moment. Without it, our quest is going to come to a halt. We're not going to be able to keep on hustling. And the nice thing about the turnip seeds is we should be able to grow like 5-10 turnips out of that. And with the 5-10 turnips, we should be able to turn that into a couple of bowls of turnip stew. I don't think it's that good. Yeah, it's only like 80. I mean, it's about as good as anything else. Honey pumpkin, wild persimmons, sweet persimmon. We'll make those right there, and then we'll fry some eggs real fast. No, if I got carrots, I can make boiled eggs. So 6, and it takes 2 of the eggs. Why would you make that when that's worth 60? It's more efficient, I guess, if you don't have rock salt, would be the answer to that question, if you're trying to make do without rock salt. But I'm just going to convert that. I'm going to convert this into a whole bunch of eggs right now. And so this is probably going to take a little bit. We'll just keep on cooking eggs. I don't know if it's worth it to make a cut right here. I just don't know. Especially, what if we get like a cooking level up in between and we get better at cooking? Then you guys would never know. It would never be pointed out. In the previous episode, we finally got in on some advancement, which was pretty sweet. We found a runic sigil underneath in the dungeon. We found it underneath the ground, and then we just activated it and it went into our little sigil wheel, which was pretty sweet. I had no idea that that was how it was going to function. And now we've got a passive bonus to buying and selling, I guess. We sell and buy like 11% higher and lower or something like that. I mean, it's something. The prices don't necessarily get so exorbitant that at any point I think that'll be amazingly useful, but it does take the edge off some of the things that we buy. Porcupine meat. Where the hell is a porcupine at? I don't think I've seen a porcupine so far. Oh, we could have made fried eggs with beans. Just in case you wanted this party to get farty. There we go. So now, oh, I keep thinking that these are worth 80. for some reason. Like, deep down, I keep thinking they're worth 80, and they are definitely not worth 80. I'm going to stack up some of the stuff in the chest real quick. It's amazing how quick your inventory fills up in this game, is it not? It blows my mind how quickly my inventory just, like, fills, and there's nothing you can really do about it. I've got some iron ingots there. I've got some copper ingots there. We'll worry about the smelting and the messing around with that stuff in just a minute. We needed to make ourselves... Yeah, we needed to make ourselves some ropes, and we needed to make ourselves a number of other supplies that unfortunately have eluded us so far. Drag you down to the bottom. Actually, what I really need to store is mostly just alchemy stuff. Alchemy and cooking things. On the plus side, we can make more beer now. And then I'll probably throw the seeds in here too. A hedgehog mushroom. Not running all fast, stealing your rings, messing with your robotniks. I'll probably keep a lot of that stuff in there too. I don't know if the spider silk is for... I don't know if the spider silk is for crafting later on for like armor that's good, or what I'm going to use that for. You know, the military played around with that because spider silk is so strong. They played around with that as an idea. Oh, we got enough to make a bunch of ropes. So let's just bang out some ropes right now too. What can we craft at the moment? I am definitely going to need more arrows, so we'll have to go in on a couple stacks of those, I think. And that's as far out as I can go right now? Okay. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't like too many things that I was neglecting in order to get this all done. While I craft out some rope and boards, I think we're just out about... Actually, we're kind of out of time for the day, but my timer's a little bit off today, so I think I'm going to give you an extra minute or so to give you the benefit of the doubt, because I'm not really sure. Essentially, I want to get a bunch of ropes made, because I almost never have enough wool around. And so if I can get this turned into... It seems to me like there's a whole bunch of stuff in this game that like limits the amount of production you can do on any given thing. Like for ropes, it's definitely wool. Like, you gotta wait for the sheep to respawn, you gotta wait for them to be around, and it's just a difficult thing to get your hands on sometimes. However, this time around, we seem to have a decent supply of it. That's because I've been obsessively killing sheep every time that I see them. We also need to make some more boards, and so I'm gonna do another 6 stack of boards, and then we'll kind of just walk around base and see what we can update and see what can be upgraded. I'd like to work on some of the smelting and crafting supplies, like some of these little benches over here, to see if we can make them a tad more useful before anything else, but this can go up to rank 2. It needs 3 iron ingots, however. Let's go ahead and do that. The iron ingots are inside my inventory on this side, and actually I'd be okay with doing a bunch of smelting right now. So let's grab all of these, and we'll give it a go. Cool. We added a skull knob to it because why not? Let's see what new stuff we got out of here. So new stuff. We got the iron fold, which is actually pretty simple to make. We got the shaman's belt. We need a stone egg in order to get that. We got the torch. We've got a copper pick, which I assume is a bit more efficient than the one that we already had. We have an iron axe. We have a shaman's club, but it requires a demon's skull. We've got the copper arrow. We've got an ancient shield, which I might go in on. It gives us defense 40%. Shaman boots. We've got a wooden trap. I assume that that's probably the one we need for sheep. And then we've got a short bow, which is quite a bit better than the one we have, I think. What is ours? An old bow, 12 to 24. This one is 13 to 24. Oh, it's not that much better. Huh. Not really worth the material investment, is it? Well, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at Niffelheim at the Nerd Castle for yet another episode. I will see you in future episodes. Having a lot of fun with it so far. I think this is a game that's going to stick around for a little bit longer. We do have some things that I'd like to accomplish, but there's more smelting to be done, so I'll see you in the next episode when I'm all finished off with those activities, alright? Hi to everybody.